Welcome to Purpose, Plans, and Profits. Y'all, I got some explaining to do. You know what? If you want to know about it, then stay tuned. Hey, y'all. I'm your girl, Ms. Robin Wiggins, and listen, I got some explaining to do. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, I was kind of going through the credit card thing last video. You know, we was deducting, we was looking good, right? No, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what had happened to me. I had got a little beside myself, and the math won't mathing. Yeah, the math won't all the way, carry the 1, bring down the 5. It wasn't mathing, okay? So I'm going to have to show y'all exactly what I did and what not to do when you are on this journey of financial independence, okay? So without further ado, we're not even going to waste no time, y'all. We're going to go ahead. We are going to turn this camera around. We're going to go through this budget. We're going to look at last week. We're going to pull out this whiteboard, and we are going to figure out what I did and what I plan to do moving forward. All right, let's go. Okay, so remember last week we went through and I said, let's go to the beginning just for a second, okay? Just for a second, we're going to go ahead and go through the beginning just for a second. And I was going through, and I said, is this the beginning? Okay, yeah, that's the beginning. And I said that I'm going to take my income and put it on credit card number 1, all right? So this is me putting in the income, and this is my balance, right? Okay, cool. So each week, I track my expenses, see what's coming off on credit card number 2, okay? Now, I get down here and I say, okay, this is my expenses. This is how much right here. Remember right here. I said, this is how much I'm putting in the card for this week, which I did. But then, y'all, look at the balance, right? Let's go back. Just, hello. See this balance? And then you see this balance, right? I knew that I had swiped my card for a couple of things, right? So I said, let me just pay it as I go. Cool. So each week, I'm taking my income here and I'm paying off credit card number 1 while I'm taking my expenses off credit card number 2, okay? Y'all. So I get roundabout here and I say, okay, I'm going to put this 200 on here, which I did. And this one will go on my credit card number 2 because the bill is coming up and it's due. Okay. And I paid it just a little bit early, but okay. You see this balance only went down by like 70 some dollars. Y'all see this, $29.39. Now, mind you, we got $942, $300 balance, right? $337. I paid $300 and only down $70. Okay, see how the math won't mathing, right? That's a big jump. It ain't that much interest in the world, okay? Came back, I put another 200. So thus far, we are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1400, and we only down by $100 because I was at $39.42. We only down what? 1,000. But I done put in 1,400, right? Okay. Y'all, by the time I got here, is when I realized credit card number 1 is up by $400. I got some explaining to do, okay? So let's look at this. So I wrote it out on the side because I needed to know what was I doing, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see if I can make it a little bigger for y'all. Y'all know I write sideways, but I'm gonna see if I can make this a little bigger for y'all, okay? So I'm going to pull this over. Hopefully you can see a little something. All right. I'm going to pull this over. I'm going to write it so y'all can see it big time. Okay. We're going to see this big time. At the beginning of May, I started off with $39.05. Okay. Went and I got some gas. I remember that. So that's how I got to $39.42. Okay. So then I paid, so I'm going to say plus, okay. I paid $942. I remember because the way my OCD set up, I wanted it to be even, minus, okay? All right. So now we're down to $3,000, okay? Then in that next week, somehow I incurred $300. This is week 2. So this was week 1. This is week 1 expenses, right? Week 1 expenses. This is week 1 cash flow, income. Just put income, right? Cash flow, right? Somehow on week 2, I incurred $368 in expenses. Week 2 expenses, okay? So that's, hello, $33.68, okay? That same week, I paid $300. Because remember, I said all of my income is going on my credit card right here, right? So this is week 2 paid, right? Cash flow, income, whatever we want to call it, okay? Y'all, I get to week 3, and this is where my water pump went out in my car, right? I had extra expenses, and I swiped, so this is minus, okay? $728, y'all. So now, that's plus. This is week 3. Now, remember in the beginning, I said I'm putting my income on this card and my expenses on credit card number 2. Here I am at $37.96. Y'all see that? That's I paid $200 for that week. This now we on week 3. This is week 3 income. All right, so minus. Now we at $35.96. Okay? Okay. So hopefully y'all can see that. If you can't see, let me pull this up a little bit. See if y'all can see that. We at $35.96. So we started off at $39.05. Right? Let me pull this down something. We started off at $39.05. I done had expenses come out right here every single week, trying to figure what in the world. So y'all, now I'm down here, right? This is the cash flow I put in right here. Now we right here, $35.96, right? That was the balance left from here. I then in turn spent another $55. Why? Right? Why? So now I'm at $36.51. This is week 4 expenses. Don't ask me why. With an extra $5 in all this, when you put like the extra coins and stuff right there. So at this point, my balance was $36.56. Okay. This is just extra. I'm going to just put coins right here, right? Y'all, I then paid another $250. Okay. The balance at this particular time is 34. Week 4 cash flow. The balance at this time is 3406. Now, mind you, the statement balance says 2658. This is the statement balance. But this is what's really the balance, the real balance right here. Can anybody explain to me why did I do this? This is where discipline comes in. This is where planning comes in. This is where when you decide that you truly want to get out of debt and you are truly serious about your finances, this is what happens. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by what happens. Because I look at my budget every single week. Because I track my expenses because I track my expenses every single week. Because I look at my bills every single week. I know what's going on in my financial life, okay? But like I said in the beginning, if you want to be about this credit card lifestyle, if you really want to truly get out of debt fast and pay off your mortgage fast and do this thing, what they call the velocity banking way, or however you want to call it, it requires discipline. I'm just glad that I was able to catch this in my first month, then to get 6 months down the line and say it didn't work for me. Because I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube and I see a lot of the comments and the people will say it didn't work for me. Well, the only reason why this method will not work for you is because you are not watching your expenses. Why would I have expenses coming off a card that I am paying off? That it made no sense. The only thing that should have came off this card was the water pump. All the rest of this, I don't know. I know what it is, right? Because I tracked it. But when I looked at it, I said, I ain't got, why? Car wash, Wawa, the nails, why? Right? But you have to be able to be real with yourself and catch yourself in the beginning. So when I got here, y'all look at this. By the time when I got to this point here, I'm glad it was last week and not this week, right? By the time I got right here where this highlight is right here, I took the card out of my wallet and I took it off my Apple Wallet. It's at the house. It's nowhere near me. I don't know the numbers. It's not chimed into my phone. I can't automatic put in. I don't know the CV number. None of that. Okay? None of that. I took it out my wallet because I said I have plans for myself. And the Lord knows he got plans for me. But in order for me to be successful in my own personal financial journey, I gotta do better. And let me tell you why I'm doing this debt confession, because somebody else out there is gonna make this mistake. And 6 months down the line, they're gonna say, it didn't work for me. Well, it didn't work for you because you was not paying attention to your expenses. You were not paying attention to how many times you went to lunch, how many times you ate out with your homegirls, how many times you and your boys went out for drinks, how many times did you run to the grocery store when you already had a grocery budget? How many times did you run to the grocery store? How many times did you purchase something on Amazon that was not in the budget at that time? I'm not saying you cannot have these things, right? Because in the past, I know that my current spending habit is that I normally spend about $250 outside of bills on a weekly basis. Also outside of the $125 that's put into my wallet every week. Right? So we got this $125 here. That $125 goes into my cash wallet every single week because I want cash on me. Okay? So if you're not real with yourself and you're going outside of the things that you're doing, like, because before, every other month before, I was only spending $250. Now, the first week I spent $435, but I was out of town and that was actually accounted for. So I don't get myself on that. This week, $356, $341. And I think I'm working on this week now. Right? I don't even know if y'all can see that. Could y'all see that? This week, $356. This week, $341. When I normally only spend $250. So I'm getting outside of myself. And now I have to check myself. Ain't nobody here to check me, right? And I can't blame it on no husband, right? Ain't nobody here to check me. I got to check myself. And even if you are married, you're doing this together, it's you and your spouse, you got to check yourself or it won't work. Check your expenses. Stick to your budget. Sit and say, okay, I know I spend $250. This is what I got. My daughter came home. She's incurring all these extra stuff. Listen, y'all, I'm telling y'all, you got to stop it with these kids. She riding on probably a quarter tank of gas right now because her and her little friend decided that they was going to go out and go shopping right after I gave her money to help get her through her next 2 weeks while she was waiting on the paycheck. She spent it in the first 2 days. Well, guess what? I don't know how you getting and where you going and where you going and where you going. I'm not giving it to you. She has to learn to make her budget and do right by her money the same way I do, right? The same way I do. So when I look at this, I said, let me do a confession video so that my peoples, everybody who vibing with me, can see, know, and understand that when you get on a financial journey to be financially independent, so that you can retire comfortably, so that you can build a legacy for your future, you have to be disciplined. You have to be real with yourself. You have to call yourself out. You have to track your numbers. You got to stay on top of your business. This money is my business. And I didn't do right. Because there's no way my statement balance down to $26.58 is no reason why I could not pay. I made myself a deal to have this paid off by the end of June. There's no reason why I couldn't do it. Ain't no reason why I couldn't do it. I got the cash flow. What's the problem? What's the problem? So I just wanted to bring this to y'all. I wanted to do this debt confession, especially on this card that we are going week to week. Y'all, from week to week, y'all are going to watch my journey. I want you to see my journey. Along this journey, I have a few friends who want me to share and show you all how I can do it with them. So I'm going to bring a couple friends along and I'm going to do their numbers and show them how they can get started. If you own a Dave Ramsey plan, y'all, this is me snowballing. Going from the smallest debt to the largest debt. This is my next smallest, aka largest, my next debt in line. Okay? Let me bring it back. Bring back the black folder so that y'all can see what I'm talking about. Right here. This is my next debt in line. I'm just going down the line, okay? Smallest to largest on the snowball, while also being able to comfortably live my life, do the things I want to do, work like I want to work, not have to, I did not cut out none of my subscriptions. Let me go to month 6. Let me pull this out. Let me go to month 6 so that y'all can see. I didn't take none of my subscriptions out. Look at this. Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, BET Plus around here somewhere. Oh, right here. BET Plus, Prime, HBO Max. I didn't cut none of my subscriptions. Disney Plus, Peacock. I got them all. I ain't want to cut none of my stuff. Okay? And I'm able to do it with the money I already have, with the extra cash flow. If you do not have extra cash flow just means, let me write this out in case somebody don't quite understand what I mean when I say extra cash flow. So let's say you bring home $5,000 a month, right? And your bills come up to $3,570. Okay? Y'all know I got to bring out handy dandy. Mine is what I say, $3,570. Your cash flow is $1,430, right? This is bills. This is expenses. So then let's say you get your hair, nails, and stuff done, and you ain't put that in your cash flow, and your hair and nails cost you $300 a month, because I know mine do, right? I know my hair and nail bills cost me $300. So now you down to, this is what you have to pay off your debt, right? This is your cash flow. If this is your income and how much you bring in, this is your bills, and this is your personal that you don't want to put on the card or whatever it is, this is your cash flow. This is what pays your cards off, one debt at a time. One debt at a time. My problem is I was taking from my cash flow and swiping for no reason at all. Okay? So you must be disciplined. You must make a plan. You must know your why, right? You must know why. Why do you want, why? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to be debt free? Why do you want to pay off your house so soon? Why do you want to do all of this? Right? That's the thing that's going to carry you when you do stupid stuff like this. This is me doing stupid stuff. Right? And people always quick to say, oh, don't say it's stupid. It's stupid. This is stupid. This is me doing stupid stuff. But it's also me maturing in my financial journey and saying, you have to do better. Right? Do you really need to eat out every weekend? Or do you really need to go out with somebody? You know, y'all, I got a lot of friends, right? I got a friends in different groups. This group of friends might want to go out this week, but then this group of friends might want to go out this week, and then this group of friends want to go out this week. I don't have to go out every week with everybody. You know, I got to do better in case real emergencies actually come up. And I didn't even have a reason to swipe this card for this water pump when I had another card to do that. So I just wanted to bring my debt confession to you all because I feel like it is important that, you know, especially when you have influence, when you have people listening, when you have people on this journey, you got to be real, right? You got to be real. You got to be real with yourself. You got to be real with your people. You got to be real with your situation. You got to be real in knowing the real numbers. I could have easily kept going with this, but why? Because y'all wouldn't have been able to. I could have paid this off and y'all wouldn't even known it. As soon as I got paid over on this week coming, I could have paid this down to this and y'all wouldn't even known it. But how does that benefit me? How does that help you? How does that teach you what not to do? if I'm not willing to be transparent enough to show you what I did. Don't do this, y'all. Okay? So I promise you, I have taken this card out. I have taken it out my wallet. I've taken it out my actual wallet. My Apple wallet is not in my Google Pay. None of that. Okay? So this is where we are starting for the month of June. All right? This is where we at for the month of June. And then we gonna work this down. And my goal, June is a magic month for me. I don't know about anybody else, but June is a magic month for me, which means I get 5 paychecks in June. Whatever I can't do by this last paycheck of June, I will pay off with whatever savings, emergency fund. I shouldn't need that much, but whatever's at the end, whatever I got sitting in the bank or whatever, just gonna get paid off at the end of June, and we're gonna start fresh in July with credit card number 2. Okay? So that's my debt confession. That's me literally sharing my heart with y'all because y'all needed to see this. Okay? You needed to see this. You needed to know. You need to know that just because you fall off the wagon don't mean you can't jump back on the left side. Okay? You can jump right back on the left side. Okay? I already have my month set out for June. All right? I already have everything laid out here on how I want to, do and pay. I got all my bills separated by the weeks. This is exactly what I do, right? I put all of my bills out and I, lay them out by the week. This one is already paid, because I paid this ahead of time. And we just going to work from there. I'm keeping up with my other credit cards just to make sure I'm keeping up with the balances. And we get to this last week, whatever is left on this card is getting paid off. Okay? So that's where we at. So let me go ahead and I am going to turn this camera around, y'all. Let's talk about it. All right? Let's go. All right, y'all. So, like I said, listen, it's all about just keeping yourself accountable. It's all about being real with you. It's all about being real with your plans, being real with your future, being real with, what you have in your hand right in front of you right now. Y'all, what we doing right now, it's a marathon. It is not a sprint, because it's a lot of moving pieces. I want you to realize that, right? With this being a lot of moving pieces, right? You have business that you have to think about, right? Where are you placing your money? How is this affecting your credit report, right? I already pulled my credit report. I already know what's going on in it and what do I have to do to repair, but I really don't have anything to repair. I just have to get these credit cards under control, right? But some people actually have credit repair. Twice I've raised my score about 200 points. So it's nothing for me. And let me tell you something, it was not an overnight success, right? So if you saying, hey, can you show me how to, help and what I can do to raise my credit score? I can, but it's not an overnight success, okay? My way ain't the fast way. If you want to do it the right way, then, I can give you some pointers. But if you looking for something quick, I ain't got it. I can tell you right now. It took me 2 years the first time to do it, and it took me a year the second time to do it. For all the back and forth, that's just me. But it was free, right? And it got me where I want to go. So, like I said, all this has a lot of moving pieces with insurance, with my actual bank and my credit cards and moving and making sure I'm transferring money over. A lot of people don't want to do this transfer thing back and forth. It don't bother me because it's right there on my phone, click of a button. At the beginning of the week, I already know what I want to do, right? It's you building a relationship with your bank so that later on, after you've paid off your credit cards, you raise your credit score, now you looking for personal line of credit so that you can pay down your debt and, try to do better for yourself. And now you have that in place. And once you get unsecured line like that, you really have to be disciplined, because you don't want to go out there buying a bunch of junk and doing a bunch of nothing when in the beginning you said, I wanted to retire early. Not only retire comfortably, I want to retire early. I want to take a year off of work and I want to put myself through school. That's what I want to do. And honestly, I didn't get that epiphany until about a few days ago, over the weekend. Like, I didn't get that epiphany till like, hey, if I do myself right and I stay disciplined and I do the things I want to do, I can literally have a year's worth of expenses and things saved on the side, and I can leave my job for one entire year while I go to school full time, come back with my license and get a new job, better pay, in the whole nine. Right? I want to be an RN. I'm not an RN. I've been a nurse for almost 30 years, but I am not an RN. And I want to do that for myself. Right? And how good will it feel to be able to have that year's worth of expenses to the side, be able to pay off school as I go? Like, you know what I'm saying? To be able to pay school. I don't need student loans, ma'am. I'm going to just pay by the month. Wouldn't it? Right? That would be great. People are hollering right now. They want student loan forgiveness. Well, you the one chose to go to school, right? So how great would that feel to know that you have that year of expenses and you can put yourself through school with no student loans? That's y'all. That's the game right there. Right? But I gotta catch myself, and I gotta watch my spending. I gotta watch my expenses. I gotta watch what I'm saying yes to. Because a lot of times I had this mentor that say, everything that you say yes to is one step away from the things that you should say yes to. If you say yes to everything, then you don't have space in your schedule for the right thing. Let me say that again. If you say yes to everything, you won't have space to say yes for the right thing. And that's what you want to do. Okay? So that's my piece for the day, y'all. Listen, if you are here and you are vibing with me, if you are in this community and you are on the road, just like myself, living financially independent, retiring comfortably, and earnestly building to leave a legacy for your future, all right? I want you to subscribe to this channel. No, y'all, I done got over 5. Y'all, I'm thinking about expanding. I'm thinking about doing a little more. June, this right here has got me so fired up, y'all. Y'all have no idea. But you know what? I'm not going to do this by myself. I'm going to do this with all of y'all. Share this out with your friends, family, colleagues, co-workers, because somebody in your life needs to hear this. Somebody in your life just did exactly what I just did, and they feel like it's not working. I promise you it works. Okay? So that's my piece for the day, y'all. Always remember, y'all, be blessed, be easy, be a light in someone's life, because you never know who might need you. All right? I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.